Hey everyone, my name is Sin, and today we're actually going to be talking about my top 5 tips for shopping on eBay. Number 1, know your price. This one is probably one of the most important tips I'm going to give you guys, and it's for a lot of good reasons. Why I talk about or hit on this one here is because oftentimes even I have found myself looking at an item and the auction starts relatively low considering what it is that I'm shopping for. So in one instance, it was actually this B3 bomber jacket. It was like a vintage jacket. Anyway, the auction started at $99, and I had it in my head. Now I will not pay $50 higher than that. So if it goes beyond $150, $149, then it's done. We'll call it a loss. We'll check again. We'll find a new listing. Whatever. And I ended up, going well beyond that, an extra $100 on top of that, because I didn't commit to that price that I told myself. And so that's the important bit of this. Okay, so know your price and then commit along with it. Don't stretch it out, because one little stretch here, I can guarantee you, will lead to even more. Number 2 is always check multiple listings. So for this one, you may end up finding that jacket, that shirt, that bag, whatever have you. But just because you find one that's sitting on a buy it now price of, let's just say, $250, doesn't mean that there's not one sitting at a buy it now price of $199 or an auction beginning at $99 itself. With those 3 differences, that gives you a little bit of leeway and wiggle room as far as understanding, okay, the maximum price, and then you've seen now the minimum price for that particular item. Okay, so my suggestion, if you find a case like that, is have a tab open with the auction on it. Don't bid on it, don't watch it, just have an open tab. Remain with that one there, and then keep your eye on the buy it now price as well. So that way, if the auction happens to end at a higher price than what that buy it now one was in the middle, then go with that, because that means that you probably ended up getting the best deal. Number 3, always check seller feedback and location. So seller feedback in of itself isn't necessarily like the ultimate, good seller, bad seller. However, if this person has 0 feedback and they're selling something expensive, generally I would step away from that, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Along with that, and although I don't have this necessarily within my overall headline of this, but you do want to look and make sure that people are taking actual photos of their items as opposed to using the stock photos from the website. It's okay if they do have some stock photos, as long as they're combined with photos of their own item. And the next point of all this was location. Here's a perfect example of the importance behind location. So if I'm shopping for, let's just say, a pair of Nike Air Fear of God 1s, okay? Because again, those are my favorite sneakers for right now. And I see multiple listings throughout eBay, some of them ranging between, in this instance, let's say $300 to $500, okay? But at that $300 price point, I know that that's not realistic, okay? And if I click on it and it says shipping from China, need I say more? Number 4, compare the items to the authentics. So this won't necessarily affect every single item that's being sold. So I would say that the most important 2 categories for this would be bags and shoes. So whether it's a handbag or a backpack, or whether it's sneakers or boots, okay? Then comparing these items to the ones that are found on the website, if they still are, is going to be something that will really aid you in making the right decision on whether or not that item is actually an authentic or, unfortunately, a counterfeit. Personally, I haven't experienced or seen too many counterfeits on eBay. I know that there are a lot within certain categories. So the thing that I wouldn't necessarily recommend buying on eBay would be certain designer handbags, because I do know that there is a large counterfeit market for those. I actually have a backpack from Louis Vuitton, and the reason why I didn't purchase it from eBay was because of the reasons that I'm about to move into. So first of all, there are so many different variations of the backpacks and handbags, particularly from Louis Vuitton. And so I found that it's just too difficult to try and really diagnose which one is authentic, what year did this one potentially come out, because they have kept their style relatively the same, but again, they've changed small minor details here and there that make it kind of difficult, again, to identify which one might be real and which one might not. Finalizing on this, I understand that this is probably feeling a little open-ended, but just do your best to at least research the items that you're looking to buy and compare them, because it could save you a lot of headache. So lastly, guys, number 5 is do not watch or bid on auctions too early. This one I cannot stress the importance of, and I did touch on it slightly earlier on. The reason why I make mention of this one here and why it truly is very important is because there are items that could sell for a much lower price point than what they do, but because people either preemptively bid on them or people watch the items to show and let others know that they too are interested, you know, it leads for a lot of area where the pricing kind of go this way, so that way people have to feel the need to beat out the other person. But what I found, at least that's worked for me, is I will wait on an item. I won't watch it and I won't bid on it, but I'll have a separate tab open, and sometimes I'll even put a calendar reminder in on my cell phone that will let me know, hey, the auction's coming to an end, let me pull it back up and take another look at it. This one is extremely helpful because sometimes if you pull up that calendar reminder 10 minutes before the auction ends and it's already past the price that you know was your maximum, then you can close it out and be done with it and search again. Or on the opposite end of that, you could end up in a position where the price hasn't moved very much, in which case you want to wait until that final 20 seconds before you consider putting your bid in. Don't go too crazy, okay? You will regret that. You know, sometimes you get click frantic. Don't do it. I mean, my heart starts to race. It's easy to do, but trust me, guys, if you follow these 5 tips, then I can almost guarantee you that you're going to end up finding some great deals and bargains that you wouldn't have otherwise. Thanks as always for tuning in, and we'll see you again for the next video.